piling up, creeping on me. What do I do? What do I do? Got me riled up, seen time's up, don't have a clue where to improve. My loans all overdue, lenders on hot pursuit, phone calls left on mute. What they gonna try and sue? Is that really how they move? But let me show you how I move.
We're sorry, your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number and dial again.
I don't have the green that you looking for. Federal green, no I can't afford. 2012 looking like an open door. Give me all of that, yeah I want some more. Soak it all in like an Hasbro toy. Hand it all over to this broke young boy who was not taught how to really save his coin. Bank account going up and down like gotta build credit. It's on Google where I read it. The only way to do it is to use it, don't regret it. Always accept it, the increase is expected. Spend it all, pay as you go, what's the lesson? That's when I went to college with the knowledge that's presented. Wake up and get the cartridge, yeah I know it's not intended. Switch it up like I've been deployed with Nintendo. Win goal, realize that hasn't been known or been shown. Not to me at least. At this point, let's go out to eat. With all this dough, might as well have a feast. Then grab a few games like AC3. Where'd it all go? Had enough of show. Now I ain't got no more. Like it just went out the door. Payments building up. Dollar bills ain't enough. Credit score looking rough. Heard the grind's real tough. Climb the hill, good luck. Everyone gets stuck. Not quite adding up. Interest rate, that sucks. Don't forget about the tolls. Glad as all as I roam. The city I've grown. Having it in my zone. Though I'm on the run. All those crazy funds. I say my intentions is to stay ambitious. Until it's said and done, I'm gonna go have my fun. Now I'm out of town, speakers up loud, life's a courtyard, and I'm out of bounds. Sand in my feet, castle underneath, step into the beat. Life is a bitch, huh? Crossing to the street, where I finna be. Looking to my left, see a few petites, gotta take a peek. Was it this street? On the sneak, yeah I chase 'em like an athlete. I'm spinning and spinning dough, got bread, okay I know, my credit is moving up, got plenty of room to grow, while we here it's time to blow it all, or what's the point, just need something to show, I yoink some food to go, this time we take it slow, in my prime take a load off, might just need to hold off, on them tickets sold off, no way I'ma throw it off, especially when I'm at dog, party till the nightfall, rushing to the entrance hall, huge sale you can save about 20%, come on in, we got coupons, money well spent, and when it's all said and done, ain't even a dent. To the limit of the funds I'm rocking with. Hold up now, would I even use this? Buy one, get one free, feeling clueless. Despite the fact that it may have been useless. Okay, fine, I'll buy it from you, useless. But wait, you can save more, how so? Have an account with us in store? Oh no, won't take long, 5 minutes tops. Fine, okay, put in my digit stop. Grab my things and skedaddled on out of there. Got my shirt and jeans and my shoes like it's battle gear. Then I put it on like I introduced my friend to something. Back outside while they're free like a wizard suit dog. Recruit coming soon, need to make a move dog. Passing by a park, would I see a pet dog? What it do dog? What we have in common? Alicia won't hold us as I'm running off. just can't seem to keep it all together. With all I got, it'll last forever. As you see, the fun don't end. Like never, ever start it all again. Wait, stop. Left, right, up, down to the floor. Lights around, put up my decor. Step back, couple years ago, I moved within a week, maybe even more. Peer into it all, the space I created. Who else is involved? The picture that was painted. Call me Lincoln Park, I'm sitting by myself. Got a few requests, denied all the help. Should I find a new spot? Something cheaper? Look for a price drop? In the ether, rent going up every year. But decided that I'm gonna stay here, cause I got the master plan sitting in the palm of my hands. Don't be surprised all I'm saying. 2025, old man, here we go. Back at it again, call it a crime, must be a sin. The way this debt getting murked, uppercut, that's sure you can. Run of them pockets, no sir. Years pass way too mature, while it's snug, tightly secure. Budget calls for a licensure. Renewal needed for the ideal funds. 2019, too much fun. Need to restart, refresh this chart. Now it's time to get it done. That's what I said as I built it up. Funds coming back to back like I'm Drake or something. Cruising on the highway with my trusty car. Got me really far, then it broke down by the bar. Now I need a new one, so I found one. Dealership said, yeah, you ain't luck, son. Got a good one, so I said, what you want me to pay per month, huh? About $100, a couple $100. She's sweet like a honey bun, but that's a ton of money, It's fine, you know why. Got the master plan sitting in the palm of my hands. Don't be surprised, all I'm saying. 2025, old man, here we go. Back at it again, call it a crime, must be a sin. The way this debt getting murked, uppercut, that's sure you can. Run of them pockets, no sir. Years pass way too mature, while it's snug, tightly secure. Budget calls for a licensure. Renewal needed for the ideal funds. 2019, too much fun. Need to restart, refresh this chart. Now it's time to get it done. Walk the path forward. How? Sway, like my name's Ye. Need the answers, time getting shorter. In a planner, put it all in order. Phone bill and my internet top notch. Cut it down to a minimum. Watch where I go for my fast food takeout. Add it up, weigh it out, call it bad mouth. Netflix, Hulu with my Twitch too. Well, y'all gotta go. Wait, ooh, student loans, hold up, we ain't talking to you. Still a long ways out. Like I said, I got the master plan sitting in the palm of my hands. Don't be surprised, all I'm saying. 2025, old man, here we go. Back at it again, call it a crime, must be a sin. The way this debt getting murked, uppercut, that's sure you can. Run them pockets, no sir. Years pass way too mature, all snug, tightly secure. Budget calls for a licensure. Renewal needed for the ideal funds. 2019, too much fun. Need to restart, refresh the chart. Now it's time to get it done. And get it done indeed we shall. Welcome everyone to the 2025 wrap-up. I appreciate everyone that's made it this far. This means you've completed the track, or hopefully you completed and listened to that entire 3-part track. So, happy to hear you guys have made it here. So let's get to it. So, I know it's been a long time since you've seen or heard anything from me uploads-wise. I think I released Let's Begin, April or so. And honestly, I've been pretty busy in the middle of the year, so my apologies for not releasing anything to you guys up until this point. But we back, and I can't let you guys sit here without one of these end of the year songs. I have to give you the culmination of everything. So with that, I will say the reason why I had been gone was because, for anyone that's unfamiliar, I practiced or trained in Hapkido, which is a style of martial arts for anyone unfamiliar with Hapkido. And I was training super hard in the beginning of the year, the middle of the year, to prepare for the black belt testing in the later half of the year. And by the time I finished that, it was, the end of the year. It was early October. So I had to just jump into this song. So, for any people, any of my Hapkido people listening to this, well, you guys will hear the journey for that in song form at some point. It would have been great to put that all into this song, but or at least release that this year, but I didn't have enough time to do that. So I'm gonna plan to make a song for that next year. Well, really, it's gonna take more than that because I want to be able to release a couple of songs. I want to be able to capture the journey from white belt all the way up to current. So with that, yeah, I think it's gonna take about 3 songs to get that done. So hopefully I can release those, upload them throughout the course of next year, and you guys will get to see my journey from start to finish for the people that are unfamiliar and for the people that are familiar. Maybe there's different perspectives that you didn't get to see as I was going through this journey. So, yeah, look forward to that coming up soon. But other than that, as for this song or the wrap up portion, typically for anyone that's new here, this is the part where I'm pretty much just talking in silence and I'm just talking about things like going over this song and going over my plans for next year, whether it's lyrically or whether it's production, things I want to play with, things I tried playing with, and so on and so forth. And anything else that comes to mind. Every time we get to these songs, I try to keep it short, but they never end up being short. They end up being like 20 something minutes. So we'll see how long this ends up being as I finish up. But without further ado, let's get started with this. So, to talk about this song from a production standpoint, what I ideally wanted to do was, since I play around with a lot of hip hop and electronic, I wanted to be able to mesh the two together in all 3 parts of this song. Well, unfortunately, I didn't really, for one, know how to fully approach that, and 2, time was ticking. So I didn't really have enough time to flesh that out. Usually, as I'm, hold on 1 second. Okay. Usually, as I am working through these songs throughout the course of the year, like anything that I release, like in between my end of the years and like so on and so forth, that's when I start playing around with that stuff. So the songs I release in the earlier parts of the year usually do matter to get to this point, whether it's production wise or lyrically. Since I didn't really have much to put out this year, I didn't really have time to play around with that. So when I jump over to talk about next year's plans, that will be one of them. Is to be able to combine elements of hip hop and electronic together. Now, I was able to kind of get that done, I think, in the first part, where you're able to hear like the drums were basically like a drum loop of an electronic song, and I slowed that down to a hip hop tempo. So that's part of that inspiration there. And with the wubs that you're hearing in the later part of, how do I explain this? In the first part of the song, where you hear the wubs when the song or the beat is slowed down, that's when I was trying to play around with ideas like that, of having like a hip hop song with electronic influences. And then I raised the tempo up to an electronic tempo, playing around with these same ideas. So that song kind of was like a mismatch of both hip hop and electronic. As I tried playing around with that in the second part or the second song, I had a lot of trouble because I made the electronic beat and I tried sampling some like bass guitars and stuff from like hip hop songs, but it just wasn't meshing well and I didn't know how to approach it. So, as I was already struggling to figure out what type of beat to put together for that part, I just said, forget that idea, and I'm gonna go like full electronic pretty much. And I'm just gonna rap in between these, which I'll talk about the rap portions later. And then for the third part, by that time I was like, well, you know what? I have this sample I wanna flip for hip hop, and I really just want to like focus on rapping on that. So I'm gonna put together this hip hop beat, and then we'll go from there. So that was kind of, in a nutshell, the ideas I was trying to play with on the production all around. Now, I didn't really get the chance to play around with my bass guitar and electric guitar here. I felt there was really no need to try and do that because I didn't really get to practice them much this year anyway. So there's not really much to show for if I was to record and put them into here, into this song. So I just programmed everything, which goes back to something that I really am happy for, because in this song, I think this is the first time in the end of the year song where I actually synthesized slash sampled everything. So all the drums, the snares, the hi-hats, if they aren't sampled, then they were created using like synths and programs in FL Studio, which I'm very happy for. I didn't do what I usually do and take like one-shot drums and all of that stuff. Now, of course, the cons of that is the sounds that are in like the base default FL Studio aren't all great. So it requires a bit of extra sound design for me to make it sound great. And as of me recording this part, I haven't mixed and mastered the song yet. So it probably won't sound as polished as it could be. But that's part of the learning process. I'm gonna try to improve, make it sound better, and then maybe I'll make those like high production sounding like drums at some point without having to rely on others and pulling it from them. So that's one thing that I'm really excited about for the production side of it. But I think that's enough with the production. Let's talk about the lyrics and the overall like messaging in this song. So lyrically, this song dives into money and not having it. To be honest with you, being broke. And like I say this like I'm like broke. I'm fine. I'm hanging in there. But I'm in a position where I have enough money to manage throughout each week. But if I get too reckless, it's not gonna be good. So I can't just buy like 55-inch TVs or anything, or I'll be screwed. But I can go out, have some fun here and there, spend some money, and then I'll be fine. But a big issue for why that's the case comes from like debt. Whether it comes from credit card debts, whether it comes from like car loans, trying to repay that, student loans. It comes from a number of different things. And a mixture of that comes from either a lack of knowledge on how to approach that when I was growing up, which is something I tackled in the first part of this song, or it was me just having too much fun and not really knowing or not really thinking about how that could affect me in the long run, which I talk about in the second song or second portion, where I'm just having fun with what I got. I don't really care. I'll deal with it later. The last part is kind of me dealing with it later. That part is later is now. Now I'm dealing with it. And I ultimately said, well, I have a plan. And I kind of listed some ideas of that plan in the third part of this song. So now I'm just kind of going through implementing this and just knocking all that stuff down one at a time. And by the time I'm done with that, I'll have more money because I won't have to make as many more monthly payments. And I can have more leverage to do what I want to do with my money. Which, if you guys have heard previous years, is ultimately things like going on vacations and like just basically exploring and traveling the world. And of course, there's other fun things I want to do with my money. Like I probably could just buy more games just because, or I don't know, buy my 55-inch TV that I don't need. I don't even care about that. I don't know why I'm bringing it up. But I could just blow my money on stuff. So that's the purpose of what I've been talking about lyrically in this song. I thought it was a good time to talk about that considering topics in my previous songs or previous end of the year songs. I believe I've talked about moving in 2022. I talked about relationship stuff in 2024, going out having fun in 2023. I've talked about things, but I haven't talked in depth about money. So this is, I think, the point to talk about that. And so let me see what else I have. As always, I have this stuff kind of generally written down on my phone because I can't remember everything off the top of my head. So, okay. Yeah. I'm going to talk about 2026. Well, for real life plans, I don't really know what that's going to be yet. A lot of times when it comes to these songs, I don't really even know what I plan on doing, but it's just going to have to depend on what's happening. And I'm pretty sure I've talked about this in a previous end of the year song. I don't remember which one, but the reason why I don't like putting these together early in the year is because I want to live my life throughout the year and see what's happening. And these songs lyrically are geared towards that, as they're typically fairly self-reflective in that aspect. So that's why I don't do that. And next year is going to be similar. I don't really know what I plan on doing yet. So we're going to have to stay tuned, and you're going to find out based on the songs I release next year what I'm going to be doing to make it to that 2026 end of the year song. But as for production and things I want to play with, I mean, it's pretty similar to things I've talked about before. Something that I'm happy about that I'm going to continue to do is playing around with the synths and everything I have in base default FL Studio, trying to clean up or use as much as I can before I start getting like third party like plugins and such. So then I'm going to also work on improving sound design. I want to get back to bass guitar and electric guitar. And bass guitar is much more something you're going to probably see in my songs. Electric guitar, I want that to be more prominent, but I have a lot more work to do in terms of learning how to play that and even what I want to do with that in my songs for hip hop. And especially so in electronic too. I have no idea what I want to do with it from an electronic standpoint, or if I'm even going to bring it out, say with the bass for electronic, but hip hop for sure, because I love the idea of live instrumentation on those aspects. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do there. And let's see, is there anything else? Oh, lyrically, things I still have to play around with or still want to play around with are things like freestyling. That was something I started in Let's Begin. It was kind of like a non-freestyle. I didn't call it a freestyle because I don't think it fit the nature of one. It was a freestyle in the sense of there was like no topic. But at the same time, it was kind of not a freestyle because I wrote it freely. I kind of freehand wrote it. So I don't think that classifies as a freestyle. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. If it is, then great, I got one on the board. But I would ideally want to do it more off the top of my head because I think that's going to have me be more creative and loose with my songwriting and just overall being able to rap just wherever I am without having to constantly think too much about it. And it can give me more loose topics too. So freestyling is something I want to do. Of course, you're going to see at least a song, hopefully, with me and the boys, or at least any of them that I can get a hold of, and anyone that I can put together a song that sounds like I think it'll be good with us on it. So stay tuned for that too. And let's see, is there anything else I'm forgetting when it comes to what I want to put out musically? No, I think that's all that comes to mind immediately. I'm sure once I stop the recording, I'm going to come up with a lot of different things and be like, oh, I want to do that and that and that. But it's all good. We're going to find out about that later. Oh, as a matter of fact, something already came up. When it comes to sampling, I have been playing around with more like video game samples as of recently, so that's gonna continue. But I may also come back to remixes. I've been listening to like my older remixes for like the Pokemon remixes, like the Santaloon Forest theme remix, or even like the Cynthia remix, or the East 8, I think East 9, actually, the East 9 remix. And I forgot how much fun I had making those. So maybe I might go back to remixes too. I'm not gonna go back to the instrumental remakes. I have no plans of doing that. So you're not gonna see the Logic instrumental remakes again. But the remixes are something. So stay tuned for that potentially. We'll see how the year goes. And with that, I see we're going into 27 minutes soon. So let's just wrap it up here. So we're gonna call it. Thank you everyone for listening. If you stuck it out all the way to the end, and I hope to see you guys again next year. And I'll make sure to release some more songs. So, well, with that, I'm gonna call it here. Thanks. See you guys next time.